just because you leave it.
Right, it's going to the cloud, so it will keep recording. And yeah, we can just do a quick round of introductions, make sure everyone knows each other. So my name is Nadia. You can use she, her pronouns for me. And I, like Ken said, I'm the advocacy and events director for SBCAN. So I've been emailing a lot of you trying to coordinate this. And I will pass it to Jeannie.
Hi, Jeannie Sparks, and I am the Associate Director for SBCAN. And I will pass it to Carlos Gonzalez.
Yay. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Carlos Gonzalez. Pronouns are he, him, él, and I was awarded Youth Activist of the Year. And I'll pass it to Andrea.
I'm Andrea Mayfield, and today I'm here representing the Rent Stabilization Initiative in Santa Maria, but also here to support Father Peter and Claudia, as I am a member of St. Peter's congregation.
Cliff, do you want to go next?
Sure.
Sorry, I forgot to
Cliff
ask.
Solomon, pronouns he, him, they. And with that, I'll pass it over to Janet.
Hi, my name is Janet Blevins. My pronouns are she and her, and I live in Lompoc, and I'm on the board of SBCAN and a few other boards as well. And I'm also on the Lompoc Unified School District School Board. And we just passed a resolution in support of trans people and Pride Month. And I don't know who's gone, so.
Pass it to Sarah.
Sarah.
Hi, my name is Sarah MacDonald. I use she, her, hers pronouns. I live on the land of the Chumash and the band of the Amuwu. I am a member of St. Peter's Episcopal Church. I'm also on the board of SBCAN Health and a mountain of other boards and committees, and I'm happy to be here. And I'm passing it to Mary Rose.
I can mute myself. I'm Mary Rose, and I'm a longtime SBCAN member, and I live in the South County, but I always care about what's going on countywide. So I'm dropping in today.
And you could pass it to Harry.
Hi, my name is Harry Mullen. I use they, them pronouns, and I am on the board of directors of San Ynez Valley Pride. I'm an Eagle Scout with, you know, a lot of stuff going on, but primarily a board member of San Ynez Valley Pride. And I will pass it to Claudia.
Okay. Hi, I'm Claudia Vega with St. Peter's Episcopal Church, the Church and Programs Administrator. And of course, we have
Father Peter Kong. I'm the priest and rector of St. Peter's, and I use he, him pronouns. And we are the recipients of the Looking Forward Award for this weekend. So,
and my pronouns are she, her, ella. And we pass it, I think, did Pam Gates go yet?
I have not. Thank you, Claudia. Hi, everyone. I'm Pam Gates in Santa Maria. She, her, and let's say League of Women Voters this time. And I'm scanning.
I think that's, did we miss anyone?
Nope.
I think that's everyone. Okay, great. I have to run, unfortunately, but I'm going to turn it over to Ken, the capable hands of Ken, to facilitate this meeting. And yeah, take it away, Ken. Thank you.
Thank you, Nadia. Thanks for organizing a really good meeting. And it was a brilliant idea to invite people who are getting honored at our awards dinner to come and be able to say a little more than the 2 minutes they might get at the podium at the dinner. I forget if that was Jeannie's idea or Nadia's idea, but it's a great idea. And now at this meeting, we have 3 Father Peter and San Ynez Valley Pride, and Carlos as our youth activist of the year. So it's great to have you all here, and makes for a good meeting, along with the mobile home rent stabilization, and glad to have Andrea here to fill us in on that. And so thanks for all the introductions, and we'll start with Father Peter.
Actually, I see that
and
we
Claudia.
have someone who just joined us, and
We
I
do
don't
have
know
one
the
more
names.
person. You want to introduce
Yeah.
yourself? Laura Dominguez.
Hi, my name is Loira Dominguez. I'm very happy to be in this meeting today.
All right, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we've allocated about 20 minutes for each, so maybe a few minutes on a presentation and a few minutes for questions and discussion on each of these. So Father Peter, would you like to go ahead?
Thank you
first?
very much.
And congratulations.
Thank you. It's an honor to be with you all today and to be the recipient of this reward. I see some familiar faces on this on the Zoom chat here, so it's good to see you all. So I'm Father Peter. I'm the priest and rector of St. Peter's Episcopal Church here in Santa Maria. St. Peter's is a historic neighborhood Episcopal parish. There's been a Episcopal presence here in Santa Maria since the late 1800s. Actually, the building we're in was built in the 1940s. And recently, we've kind of renewed our commitment to what we say is feeding body, mind, and spirit in the heart of the city. So caring for the whole person. During the pandemic, we began to have conversations of what our church is going to look like when we return to in-person services, and really looking at what it means to be a church in this place, in this neighborhood, and how we can best love and serve our neighbors. And promote the common good here in the city. And so since we've returned to having in-person programming and services, we've been really working on building and strengthening relations within the local community, and especially within the Latinx community here in Santa Maria, being intentional about reaching out and trying to strengthen our relationships. So one of the things we did pretty early on was develop a partnership with Allen Hancock College to offer free ESL classes here at the church. And then also the church provides free childcare to make it easier for parents with young children to attend the classes. And so we've been doing that now. This is our second year, and it's been pretty popular. We've also been developing relationships with a number of different community organizations and nonprofits, recognizing that there are a lot of great nonprofits and community organizations out there doing good work. And so instead of trying to reinvent the wheel and do these things ourselves, we thought it made sense to try to build relationships and partnerships with all these other organizations. And one simple thing that we do is offer our meeting space, so space of the church, on a no-fee basis to nonprofits and community organizations. So if groups are looking for a place to meet or to hold programs or events, they're welcome to use our space on a no-fee basis. And since we started doing that, we've had around 30 different nonprofits and community organizations using space here at the church. And through that, we've also been able to develop relationships and partnerships in a number of different ways. Something we've been doing the past couple of years is working with the California Labor Commissioner to offer workers' rights clinics. And maybe Claudia can talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, definitely. She's been coming for the past, I want to say 4 or 5 months, and continuing through the rest of the year. So once a month, she will be here offering the labor rights, workshops for the community. It's in Spanish. If it does needed someone in English, I'll help to translate for that 1 or 2 persons, but also for our Mixteco speaking dialect as well. So we work a lot with MICOP and also ALRB. So that's one of the organizations, or a few of the organizations, that we have been working with in the community to bring these types of services to the community, workers' rights, or any other workshops to the community that we can offer for free to the community.
And something our church has been doing for a number of years that we've expanded is we have a weekly food distribution program in partnership with the Santa Barbara County Food Bank. So we provide staple food items, rice, beans, meat, fresh produce. And we serve anywhere between 150 to 200 families a week. And then during that food distribution, we invite nonprofits and community organizations to table to offer resources and information. So today we had Dignity Health was here doing blood pressure screening. The representatives from the North County Rape Crisis Center and also Visione Compromiso was here offering information. And we've also had the Family Service Agency, CHC, Importa, all kind of tabling and offering information while we do the food distribution. This year and then last year, we combined our food distribution with the farm workers resource fair, farm workers rights resource fair. So in addition to the labor commissioner and the ALRB, which is the Agriculture Labor Relations Board, we had CAUSE, Lideros Campesinas, and several other nonprofit groups come to table to offer information while we were doing our food distribution. We've also had some health fairs and vaccination clinics.
Definitely. On behalf of Visione Compromiso, obviously St. Peter's Church and other organizations, we've been able to bring vaccinations, awareness because of the pandemic. There's always something happening, before, during, and even after, especially on our mental health in every aspect. So with the help of Visione Compromiso, we've been able to bring more resources, more information to the community under the umbrella of mental health. So there's more workshops that are offered here at St. Peter's. Visione Compromiso, who is also open to the community, which these workshops, mental health support groups, are totally free to the community.
We've had a couple of large community celebrations for events like Dia de los Muertos and Las Posadas, where we invite everybody to come and we have free food and games and activities. But also for Dia de los Muertos, we set up a community altar to where people can bring photos, mementos of loved ones who have passed. And it's a day of kind of remembering those who, our loved ones that have died. This summer, we are doing our second kids summer creativity camp. So it's a free arts and music camp where kids age 4 to 11 will receive instruction in folklorico dance, in art, and in music. And then we have guest presenters come. So we had the taiko drumming group, and we have a handbell group, and Corazon Pueblo is going to come and do an arts activity with the kids. And this is just another way we can kind of promote arts and music education and give back to the community. So that's just a short synopsis of kind of the things we've been up to here at St. Peter's, but we'd love to answer any questions you might have.
Please, questions.
Now, for short synopsis, I would hate to, what's the long version?
Come on Sunday.
That's amazing. Yeah. Gosh, you're doing so much. That's just amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I call that my parish home, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Have you guys had SynCal by any come by to do any community outreach?
Not through SynCal, no.
Okay. I'll pass that along because I'm on the community advisory board of that thing, board liaison. So if you want them to come, I know people.
You're welcome.
Cliff?
I just want to say that you're doing great work. You're a real a model for a downtown church with the way that you're just doing the kinds of things that need to be done in a church like yours. So thank you very much for all that you do.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cliff.
And then just to add another place that we've been connecting a lot with is the Santa Maria Bonita School District. I have been able to do that connection as well and help out with the healthy school pantry that they offer throughout the whole year, and been have St. Peter's table there. I just went to Robert Bruce a couple of weeks ago and have our St. Peter's Church table there, information, regarding what we have to offer to the church. So as you can see, we worked with an array of organizations and also with the Mexican Consulado in Oxnard. So just one way or another, we're always helping, bringing services to the community within the church space.
Claudia, I just sent you guys a message through chat.
I just want to say I'm really impressed with what you're doing, and I'm glad to meet you.
Thanks. So Andrea reminded us that another event that we're going to be doing this summer on July 1st, which is a Saturday, is we're going to have a Fiesta de San Pedro. So there'll be a worship service at noon, but then also from 1 to 5, we're going to have vendors and food trucks and other representatives from nonprofits and community organizations here, and we're just going to have kind of a day-long celebration here at the church. There'll be music and face painting and activities for kids, and so everyone is invited if you'd like to come out and check it out.
And it's free. Everything that we do is
Yeah.
free to the community. We'll have raffles and
Mhm.
really good stuff. So pass on the word.
What time is your event on July 1st?
It starts at noon. We'll have a worship service at noon, and then from 1 to 5, there'll be the community celebration.
Sounds wonderful.
Any other comments or questions?
Yeah. Again, I think this is just so amazing to hear that, especially it's so inspiring. But do you guys have any like social media platforms where you guys like post these events, kind of like outreach to other?
Yeah, we have a Facebook account and an Instagram account that we try to keep up with, but
That's where I put all the events and the flyers that create or Father creates. We post them there. Any of the pictures and events that we have been doing, I've been posting them there.
Mhm.
And obviously my personal one and the other Facebook social media. I've been also working a lot with radio stations. So I do work with 3 of the radio stations locally in Spanish. So I get the word way one way or another. I do. Mhm.
Well, thank you so much.
absolutely. My
And
pleasure.
congratulations.
Thanks for having us.
We'll look forward to seeing you at the awards dinner. And if there are no other questions, then Harry Mullen, please tell us about the work at San Ynez Valley Pride and why it's so wonderful that you're getting this award. We'll
Well,
tell you.
thank you very much. I just want to say I'm honored to be speaking with such qualified and such great people in this Zoom call. I'm very excited to be in y'all's presence. So San Ynez Valley Pride was born 2 years ago when I got coffee with 2 other members of the community in San Ynez. That was Gulzar Myanmar and Adriana Reyes. I'm sure some of you know Adriana through her billions of different projects she's always doing. And essentially we were just like, it was after COVID, we were just kind of tired of the San Ynez Valley being in the conservative way that it has been for its entire history, and we were just almost fed up. That's kind of the feeling that I was experiencing, at least. I grew up in the Valley. I've lived here my whole life. I'm at UC Santa Cruz right now. I'm a full-time college student, but I'm still on the board of San Ynez Valley Pride, and we created it just as a parade. We were like, all right, well, it's pretty easy to do a parade, right? It was not easy. We would find out later. But out of that, we had an organization on our hands because we initially were just going to do that parade, and people just kept joining us, and businesses offered up their spaces. And it was really unintentional, actually, is the funny thing about SYV Pride. I've done a lot of work. I'm openly non-binary and queer. I was the president of my GSA at my high school for 3 years. So I was familiar with this line of work, but no one's thought, hey, let's create a mutual support group for the LGBTQ plus community in San Ynez. It was born out of this parade, and now we're having all kinds of events this year. And it is bringing a new voice to the Valley that very much was not there before. I've always known I was queer, and it was a trial growing up in the San Ynez Valley where that's not accepted. I was very alone for most of my elementary and high school life because I was clearly different from the other kids. And I and the other people at San Ynez Valley Pride are really working to make sure that no one in the valley has to go through that again. We are really focused on being there so that the youth can see that there are people like them out there and that they really aren't alone. It's San Ynez Valley Pride started as a celebration organization, I would say, because with that parade and all our different events in June, we're having a lot of events right now. If you guys find yourself in San Ynez Valley, totally check it out. Our parade is on the 24th, I think. I should probably know that. But anyways, so it started out as a celebration organization and it quickly shifted into something else. There was a bit of figuring out, there was a period of figuring out what that was, but eventually it became an activism organization, which is much more in tune with my personal views and with those of the board. There's been a lot of stuff happening at San Ynez Valley High School in the past year. If you've been keeping up with the news at all, you've probably heard some pretty nasty stuff. And San Ynez Valley Pride has been there every step of the way, organizing people. A main thing that we do is organize people to go to school board meetings. When there was that fiasco with the crosswalks recently, I was there personally on the ground day one. I barged into the principal's office without getting a note or anything. I was home on spring break, and we fairly resolved that situation. That's the kind of work that we're really there to do, is harm reduction and celebration of the LGBTQ plus community in Santa Ynez, which has been silent for years and years and years. So it's really excited that we have this new organization, and there are other things springing up in the valley now. There's the Rainbow House, there's PFLAG, there's all of these different organizations that are all coming together to work towards this common goal. So San Ynez Valley Pride is a big part of my emotional journey personally, because I used to be the kid on the basketball court who everyone knew was gay and no one wanted to play with. And now we have this organization that is really there to support those kids who really are in need. So that's why I think San Ynez Valley Pride is deserving of the love that it's getting. And thank you all very much for listening to it. And yeah, thank you.
And thank you for your remarks and congratulations again. And I want to say that we have a small committee of our board of directors and the 3 staff members that meet, and sometimes another volunteer that maybe won one of these awards in a past year. And so we meet and look over all the nominations, and there were plenty of them. I mean, we had a lot of nominations for 6 awards. I think we looked over about 18 or something. And I'm going to put one board member on the spot now, because Janet spoke right up and said, you know, this is one we have to do this year. And so Janet, tell us, if you will, if you don't mind.
Well, when I introduced myself, I mentioned the fact that Lompoc Unified School District School Board at our last meeting passed a resolution in support of Pride Month. And that was 2 weeks after we had passed a resolution in support of trans kids. And we had, at that meeting, we had churchgoers from Goleta come up and tell us how wrong-headed we were to do this, and recited a Bible verse apparently that talks about tying a rope around the neck and tying a rock to the rope and then throwing the person in the ocean. And the president of our school board stopped the person and said, "You may not use violent language and threats at our board meeting." And he said, "I don't know, I don't care what book it's coming from," and asked her to please sit down. And then she called out, "Shame on you," a couple times during the meeting. So she was asked to leave the meeting, and she did. the next, our most recent meeting, we had several people from the community and from the schools in person, trans people, gay people, thanking us for what we had done. So we knew we were doing the right thing, and it felt good to know and to feel that we were doing the right thing. And then to have people come and tell us thank you. That's the best part. And I'm sure, and then, you know, as we go back to school in the middle of August, we will let everybody know that, you know, we absolutely support all kids, including trans kids and gay kids. And, you know, we've had people object to what we're doing by saying, but you are, you know, we support all kids. You know, we all support all kids. So we shouldn't be calling out any special groups. You know, you didn't raise a flag for Black History Month and all of these other excuses. So anyway, we're happy and proud of what we've done. And, you know, maybe we will raise Black History Month flags on all of our school flagpoles next time. And honor our great farm worker, whose name is slipping my poor brain, month too. I mean, it is about honoring everybody, but just because there, you know, there's been so much anti-gay and LGBTQ in the news lately that we really felt it was important. And our board president is a young gay man who just came out really to himself and his parents about 2 years ago. So it's all good.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate the work that you do. I actually have been keeping up with Lompoc Unified. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is it's a very current fight. So if there's any time to support a pride organization, it would be right now. I'm really in it. I'm very much in the trenches, and all of us at SYB Pride are really doing what we can. So I really appreciate you doing all of that work for good.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Janet, for sharing. And who else has a question or a comment? Anybody?
Yes, please. I love questions.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, please, Laura.
Hi, I'd like to thank you, Claudia Vega and the gentleman from St. Peter's Church for all the support to the Latin people. I faithfully believe a small change making a big difference in our community. And I really like to thank you to the lady what's spoken right now relating to the kids support, because actually we have to be equals and related anything in a school, because everybody deserving to have a better opportunities in life. And thank you for inviting me to this meeting. I'm so appreciated, sir.
Thank you for being here.
It was my pleasure.
Yeah. Okay. Any other comments?
I have a question for Claudia Vegas. The St. Peter's Church, they have any church in Oxnard area?
Yeah, there's an Episcopal church in Oxnard. It's All Saints Episcopal Church in Oxnard, Todos los Santos. And Melissa Campbell Langdell is the rector there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the information. Just because I'm working for so many years for the Mixteco community. And I'm glad to hear from you guys, everything you're doing for the community. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
And I wanted to add a comment to Harry. San Ynez Valley has been known as being conservative for a long time, so I know it's got to be a struggle to come and do the changes that you're doing. So you've got some really strong people, and it's just really necessary. Plus, one of our board members lives in the San Ynez Valley, and she's also trying to make change there, finding the same challenges. So I just think it's good to, when people who haven't been represented are stepping out, and I know it's a tough thing to do, but kudos to you for doing it. And it's going to make a better tomorrow. It's making a better today and making a better tomorrow. So good to hear what you're doing.
Thank you.
Right. Thanks for the
Sure.
comment, Jeannie. And Harry, you got any last word for us?
Well, Sarah would like to, she's got her hand up.
Sarah's got her hand up. Thank you.
Hi, Harry. I'm
Hello.
so proud of everybody in Santa Ynez as a gay woman in Santa Maria, and you know, we got to keep up the fight, and just know that we're pulling for you, and don't forget, we're having our Pride celebration from 11 to 5 on Saturday, so come on out and hopefully, I know there's lots of things exciting things coming your way. Thank you.
Well, good luck with your celebration.
And how do you say it? Is it Laura or Lyra Dominguez?
Yes, Loira Dominguez.
Laura?
Yes.
Did you have something else to say? Your hand is still up.
Oh, no,
Okay,
thank you.
thanks.
Thank you, Jeannie, for helping to tag team.
Yep. Welcome.
And so I don't see any other hands. And so thank you so much, Harry, and everybody with your comments. And so Carlos Gonzalez is getting our Youth Activist Award this year. And congratulations, Carlos. And we look forward to seeing you at the dinner, but we'd like to hear from you now.
Yeah, again, so I just would like to say, it's just so inspiring to hear all this work that there's out there, you know, like, it's really inspiring for me as a young person going out into the world. So again, thank you all for your commitment and your time here. So yeah, I was nominated by David Melendres from the Fund for Santa Barbara. He's the Youth Making Change coordinator, and Youth Making Change is a nonprofit organization that grants a total of $30,000 each year to local youth nonprofits or organizations that are just making, you know, great change. So some of the organizations we granted were like Lompoc Murals, conferences, some festivals, some cultural rallies, and the list goes on. It's just so amazing to see the work that we get to contribute as young leaders, you know, learning this philanthropy process. And it's just really so amazing to kind of get the opportunity and also get this opportunity to speak on behalf of all of you guys. So what's crazy is that actually today I just graduated. So it was the end of my high school career, which is really, really kind of daunting to say because, you know, now it's on to the real world and on to college. But I did want to just talk about like two main significant events that did happen and that I've contributed so much towards. I'm part of this group called Latinos Unidos, and it's a school cultural club. And one time there was like this conflict between some ASB students and some of our board members from our club. And I don't know, it was just some conflict random. But I thought it was a good idea to really go into the class and kind of, you know, get on good terms and just present our kind of club and our club goals to the class. So the board members and us, we went into that ASB class, and the class was majority filled of predominantly white students, which was really, really hard to see because that class is kind of like the government of our school. They make all the decisions for the school activities. So we went in and we thought we were going to get a welcoming feeling. And when we went and we were just, you know, kind of stared at, and students were like on their phones, they really seemed disinterested. And it was just really hard to see that they weren't like showing a lot of respect towards us, because I feel like they felt they were a little bit higher than us. So we presented our club goals and our club kind of things that we offer, and they were just really, really disinterested. So that week was actually our football season week, and every football day they have a theme, and that football day actually was so happened to be Mexico Independence Day, which really resembled a lot to what we promote, which is our culture, the Latinx culture. And we proposed and asked them if they would, kind of implement that culture and that theme into that day. And they kind of they turned us down and they said no, and they actually turned it into a USA theme, which was really, really kind of hard to hear because it was, kind of both themes like contradicting. So it was just like, oh my God, that's really hard to hear, especially since our schools, majority of our schools population is Latina. There's like 78% of our students are Latina, which was just really, really hard to hear that they really didn't want to kind of include us into that theme. And so I just decided to kind of, gather a group of students, and we stayed after school. We created posters. I actually bought Mexican flags for all of us, and we gathered those Mexican flags. We stayed after school like for hours creating posters, and the day of, we all gathered in like a group, and we headed down to that field with our Mexican flags and our posters saying we really wanted to include, our culture into this theme. And luckily enough, we like had face painting materials with us. So when we like got in our little spot to sit, we were painting our faces, and other students actually started to ask us to paint their faces, which was really, really amazing to see that they actually, really did kind of care about implementing. However, there was a group of students who were kind of shouting at us and kind of just, slurring, giving us some bad words, and even told like one of the directors there to like get us out of here, so it was just a little hard kind of seeing that contradicting moment. However, I just feel like I was able to kind of create a space where we're able to share and use our voice to really implement something we truly care about and are passionate about, which was, just including our culture and really sharing all of our different experiences and backgrounds. So that was really, really such a powerful event for me. And then within that exact same group, we actually hold an annual conference. And this year, we're able to recruit our Senator Monique Limon, which was so amazing, as our keynote speaker. And we gather students from all over the district to kind of host a workshop. And this workshop can range from like anything they think is a really necessity topic that needs to be discussed. So I hosted one about kind of embracing your inner self and kind of just, hosting a space and safe and comfortable space where students can, feel free about themselves and express themselves. So we gathered in a group in a circle, and we kind of just talked about any challenges we had. I gave them all flags, and we just had such a great time. But during one of our planning meetings, I got a text saying that it was like a National Gun Violence Walkout Day. And I thought that was like a huge deal, especially since I was at the district office, which was really, really cool. And I was with students from Santa Maria to PV students to Rigetti students. So I had like all the group of students, they're perfect. And I was like, oh my God, like I so want to participate in this. So I actually brought it up to my advisor, like saying if we could participate in this and like actually do a walkout. And she was like, yes, but you wouldn't be able to do it during our meeting. So we thought of just doing it during lunch. So during lunch, me and my co-president spent hours creating posters about that national gun violence. And then after we finished creating posters, we had actually asked the students if they would be willing to participate in this movement. And at first, some of the students were really, really hesitant, just because they didn't know much about it, but we presented more about it. And then there was one student that raised her hand that initiated like all the other students to raise their hand, which was just so cool to see how like that one volunteer actually helped kind of give the courage to the other students to participate in it. So after we got their support, we felt really, really proud. So then we had to move on to the next step, and the next step was actually to get permission to actually do it. So we had to go to the district, one of the district workers there, and it was the past principal at Rigetti, Miss Rotundi, and we proposed the idea to her, and she was just like, yes, like that is so amazing that you guys want to do that. So that was just so amazing that we went through that whole process of like making posters to, asking if the students were interested, to getting permission, and then to walking out, where we spent and gave up our entire lunch to, kind of use our voice again to really protest for this thing that was going on at the time, which was a really, really big thing about school shootings and everything. So we really wanted just to promote that. And when we came back into the room, my advisor asked a really, really great question that I think has always left a mark on me, was this their first time during a social movement? And I kid you guys not, it was like 90% of the room, all the students raised their hands saying that that was their first ever social movement, going outside and actually participating in that. And I actually, initiated that. So I just felt really, really like proud and just so happy that I was able to really contribute some sort of activism and, some sort of like hope and courage into these students to actually use their voice, because this was just such a monumental moment that I felt so proud of. And it was just so powerful to hear that I've had just some sort of contribution into my community. And I've actually, participated in so many events at such a young age, which I'm really, really proud of. So, yeah, thank you everyone so much for sharing and listening.
That is such a good example of leadership, and because it's not just you, but you are helping other people to become leaders by them participating in that. And I think your advisor was really wise to ask that question, because that tells everyone else that, oh, wow, we can stand up. We've done it for our first time, and let's think about this. Let's do this again when we need to. I think that was wonderful, and good for you. Good for you for starting that.
And congratulations, you walked today and got your diploma. From where? From which school?
It was Ernest Rigetti in Santa Maria.
Yeah, we were at Santa Maria today. I figured it wasn't Santa Maria because you said something about there were some percentage of people that weren't Latin, and it was.
Was it 2 graduations yesterday, and I'll be at 2 tomorrow.
I love the graduations, and we didn't get to stay till the very end and see all the huge celebrations of everybody tossing their caps and everything, because we had to get ready for this meeting and a couple other things like never mind.
Get a grant application out. That was really important. Had a deadline.
Exactly. Pam.
Thank you, Carlos. Amazing what you've managed to do. And I just feel so encouraged, especially through the Women's March, that young people are taking such a lead for the Women's March and other things. So thank you. I'm curious, where are you going to college? Where are you off to?
I'm off to UC Berkeley, actually, which is really, really amazing to hear, because UC Berkeley is like really known for activism and there's a lot of protests there. So I think that's just a great fit for me, that I know I'll be able to kind of, encourage myself to jump in to those students who are like-minded like me and who are really passionate. But I do feel like I'm gonna feel imposter syndrome, which is really, really crazy, because like,
don't worry about that.
Fit right in.
You'll lead right there
right
too.
in.
Yes, it does have a very, very long history of that. So thank you. And just one request, when you graduate from there, please come back, because we need you to continue all the work. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Harry.
So, Carlos, we know each other. We've worked together on YMC, stuff like that. But it's been so great to see you from this point of view, I guess, of like, it's just been great to watch you become like such a professional young person. And like, you're going to have a good time at Berkeley. I'm really excited. Berkeley was on my top 2. I ended up going to Santa Cruz. So similar interests, and you're going to have a fun time going to a protest there. Every Tuesday, I think they have one.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. Every Tuesday, that's amazing here. Thank you so much, Harry. It means a lot from you.
Hey, Jeannie, anything else? You graduated from Rigetti too.
Yeah, that was a few years ago. Okay, 1977. So yeah, that's a long history. So you're saying there's 70, did you say there's 78% Latinx at Rigetti now?
There is around there.
Yeah, that's changed a lot. It was, I don't know what the percentage was when I went to school there, but it was a lot more white than Latin.
Guadalupe goes to Rigetti, right?
Yeah. So it's always been an interesting thing because people living in Guadalupe had, they were kind of insulated from Orchid, and Orchid was insulated from Guadalupe. So I think there were some cultural clashes, although I think most of us got along pretty well, but the clashes were between the ag students and some of the Latino students. So I know in my classes we had a lot of mixed backgrounds, and I never thought much of it, but I would see writing in the bathrooms where there were nasty things written about each other there, and I'm going like, what's going on here? Of course, I only went to Rigetti for 2 years because I had moved away and came back, and probably I missed a lot of the conflicts, but I didn't see most of the conflicts. I just saw them writing in the bathroom walls and heard about it once in a while. So I hope you had a good experience at Rigetti.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Good. Good. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you at our awards banquet, and I hope that this has been beneficial to everybody. I think it's been really beneficial to see some of our award winners here. We have 3 others as well, and gosh, I think maybe we should have more of these type of discussions.
That's a really
get to
nice
know each other.
idea.
Yeah.
Really nice idea.
Thank you. Well, actually, when Ken was saying who came up with it, it was me, but Nadia implemented it and she managed to get everyone here. So it was really nice.
Yeah, I think it's really good to hear directly from some of the people that are really doing the work in the different communities. And I think that's congratulations to you all, because you're doing the important work, and you're not always as visible to everybody as it would be nice if you could be. And I think maybe we need to I'll stick my neck out here. Maybe SBCAN can do more about highlighting some of the groups, not only, these individuals who are winning these awards are wonderful, but what about some of the others that you also, give them some visibility in some way? And Harry, are you going to come back to the San Ynez Valley when you graduate and keep making change there? I know that's a big topic right now with some folks I'm working with in the Valley, is how can we get some of the young people to come back here?
It'll take me a bit. I might settle down in the Valley, but I'm 19.
Yeah, that's what people are saying about the Valley. Okay.
So
Yeah,
have you guys chosen your songs yet?
Oh yeah, they did. Your song, what you're going to be sung to you at the awards dinner. Well, I think everybody here knows, because the new award winners know it. Maybe not everybody knows, but SBCAN, during our North County Awards dinner, we have singers who sing songs to the award winners. The award winners pick out what their favorite song is, and we have one or more people singing to them. So it really makes it fun. One of the fun things. And I wanted to respond to Mary regarding bringing more groups to speak. We are planning to do that. We've always had people talk on certain topics, but it hasn't always been as broad as it could be. And now, as we're finding more groups, we're going to bring them in. And we especially haven't done a whole lot in Cuyama. We're giving an award this time to a group from Cuyama. And Ken and I went to something a few days ago. We met someone from Quail Springs. 3 people from Quail Springs are doing some great work up in Cuyama. So we're inviting them to come speak at one of our roundtables. And I think we're just going to keep trying to expand who we hear from in our roundtables to talk to people that we haven't been talking to, so we get a broader
Thank you.
Understanding
then-
of what's going on.
Mhm.
And it's also, and understanding what's going on too, at our awards dinners in the years ago, we used to have a guest speaker come in, and then we would hear nothing from the award winners except, okay, thank you, and then off they'd go. And so we decided to get rid of the guest speaker and give more time to the award winners to say a few things. And it's not as much time as you got here, but at least it's something. And so because with 6, it's kind of hard to give you a whole lot of time. But it's been helpful because we've heard more from our award winners, and we've gotten to understand better. The people who are attending the dinners have understood better what's going on.
Something you might consider, and you maybe can't do it this year, but to have something where the people who are getting the awards can put up some kind of a display if they want to about what their organization or they have done, so that people can find out more and get involved. As opposed to we stand around and stand around and drink wine for a little while, and then we all sit down and you can't really interact the same way. But sometimes if you can walk around with your glass of wine and talk to some people and see, a little background on them or the organization that they're representing, just
a really good idea.
A way to expand it.
Well, let's invite the 3 honorees right now. If you have information you'd like to bring with you, and we could just put it on the table and display it.
Sure, yeah, I'll talk to the rest of my board, but we have little graphics that we like to put on tables and stuff, so I might be able to scrounge together a couple of those.
Okay.
So we need to have a couple of tables. Last year, we had half a table that we allowed one of the sponsors to put some stuff on, and nobody picked it up. It wasn't highlighted. But if we have a couple of tables that are, here's the honorees tables, and here's some stuff that they've got, I think that's a great idea.
I think we need to make the table more prominent, and then to guide people to it, tell people about it when they get there.
Mhm.
Here's the wine table, and here's the honorees table.
Well, you could put the honorees table on the line to the wine table.
Well,
On
that's
the
a
way
good
to the wine
idea.
table.
No, I'm just kidding, because
Hopefully the line won't.
Yeah, I'm throwing out ideas.
Yeah, no, that's
Because
great.
I just so liked hearing from everybody what they're doing. It's inspiring.
And it really is, it's tough when you have 2 or 3 minutes to say what you all said in 10 minutes or so and answer questions. And only one time did we have somebody, we always say, 2-3 minutes, and one person who was a famous person went on. She thought everybody wanted to hear from her, and she talked for about 20 minutes and threw our whole thing off the schedule.
We did want to hear from her, but
she's terrific, and she runs a great place, and I've said it.
That's Rona Barrett, who
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna pull her out. Rona
Out
Barrett.
Rona.
Yeah, if you're older, you may have known Rona Barrett as the gossip columnist, the socialite who talked about everybody, and she was on TV, really well known nationally. And now she settled in San Ynez Valley and has a retirement home there that she was talking about. Then,
A wonderful nonprofit retirement home. She had a lot, but mostly she didn't talk about that home. She talked about her background, which she thought everybody would want to hear. And maybe some people did, but it was 20 minutes. Anyway, so Janie, finish, sorry.
No, that's it. I enjoyed hearing her. I know it was kind of hard. It was unfair that she got so much time and the other ones didn't, but she was unique too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. So we're glad to, and if anybody wants to hear more at more length, we've taped this meeting, and so people can hear all of what you've had to say at greater length. But I don't mean to discourage you from, but just I do encourage the 3 of you to think about, okay, so in 2 or 3 minutes, how can I best put out there? So thank you so much for coming tonight. And
if you can stay around a little while afterwards, I know everybody kind of gets up and leaves, but if you stick around a little bit and talk to people, it's a good way to network and know some others. Just
There's always
Just sort of-
120 to 140 people that come. No matter how we plan this thing, there's always this many come. I
mhm.
chew my nails over, we haven't sold enough tickets or whatever, but then we filled a tent, we filled a hotel room. In this case, it's under a tent. So it'll be a nice crowd. So please stick around, like Murray said, stick around and meet people. Anybody else? Andrea,
I have to go, so bye. I
Hey,
just realized
bye,
what time
Mary.
it is. Bye.
thanks
Nice
for
to
coming,
meet you.
Bye,
Mary.
Mary.
Thanks for coming,
Thanks for
Mary.
your- Thanks for contributing. And now Andrea Mayfield's going to tell us what she can about the mobile home rent stabilization here in.
I'm sorry, I still am a full-time college student. I have to go to class, but thank you all very much for the opportunity to speak. It's been great hearing from everyone else.
Thanks,
Thank
Harry.
you.
Take care.
Thank
you,
you.
Mary.
Thank you much.
Great to
See
hear
you
from
soon.
you. Bye-bye.
Okay, well, I'm going to do a brief recap of the initiative that I've been working with now for 5 years. The issue basically is trying to find or stop unreasonable rent increases for those primarily seniors living in mobile home parks in Santa Maria. After a couple of years of asking the city council to move, they actually adopted what they call a model lease after a number of stakeholder meetings in 2019. But unfortunately, the park owners had an attorney and the residents did not. And so the model lease was leaded very heavily in favor of the park owners and not the residents. So we, the National or North Santa Barbara County Mobile Home Team as a group, went back to the city council. Every city council meeting for approximately 2.5 years. And I was at most of those, to ask the city council, please, to relook at the model lease and either fix it or find something, another way, like an MOU or rent stabilization ordinance or something that would provide more protections for residents. So finally, on June 7th, almost a year ago, the city council voted to give direction to the staff to work with community members and park owners to, quote, examine enhancing the existing model lease to see if there was room for improvement or look for alternatives. So we got excited, but that was a whole year ago. The issues that primarily we were looking for was making the participation in this model lease mandatory. The initial model lease was not mandatory, so only about 5 park owners in the city out of 14 actually signed on to the model lease. So most of the other parks didn't even know anything about it. There was no outreach. There was no Spanish language translation for the materials. There was no enforcement because it wasn't mandatory. And the financial terms that they adopted were pretty much not any better than what some of the leases already looked like in Santa Maria. So finally, on September 22nd of last year, we had our first stakeholder meeting, the residents, and with the city attorney, Andrew, I can't remember his last name, I think I'm blocking it, and Gloria Soto and Carlos Escobedo. We talked about, the various aspects that we wanted to focus on, and started putting together a document that we would inevitably give to the city council for adoption. So the park owners met on November 3rd to review the things that we were asking for. The residents had held another stakeholder meeting with the city attorney on the 29th of November. We created our final issues paper along with our suggested solutions and got to the city attorney before Christmas. Then this really interesting thing happened in March. The legislature, a bill was introduced to the legislature in Sacramento, AB 1035, which literally capped the rent for seniors in mobile home parks to 3.5% plus COLA or 5% max, which was better than anything that any of us had, much better than the model lease, and actually much better than what we had been thinking about asking the city council to adopt. So that bill was running through the legislature. But on May, there was another park down in Los Angeles area that a bill previously had been passed to cap rents on a mobile home park, when that mobile home park was in 2 different jurisdictions last year. And the park owners decided to sue the state against that. And so the homeowner or the park owners here got freaked out. And so let's wait till that suit is settled. Well, it's not even going to go to court for another 1.5 years. And also the 1035 bill now has been put on hold, and it was expanded to a 2-year bill. So it won't be heard until next year sometime. So the city and the park owners wanted to delay our whole process. They said, no, let's wait until all this other stuff plays out. And the residents said, absolutely not. No matter what happens with those other activities, we need to figure out what's going on in Santa Maria, and we need to do it fast because rents are increasing. Seniors, particularly on fixed income, are having to make choices between food, medication, and their rent. And increases are happening every single year. So we say no, no delay, and now we are waiting. We're waiting for the city attorney to advise us how they're going to proceed and whether or not we are actually going to have another stakeholder meeting that includes both the residents and the park owners, which was the order that things were supposed to have taken place. So we're waiting now for the city attorney, and we email him. We're still showing up at city council meetings and asking them to please move forward. So it's been 5 years for me. I'm patient. So we're still in the process of moving this thing forward in Santa Maria.
Is Sharon Rose involved in that in Santa Barbara?
Well,
No.
Sharon
Hasn't she always been an advocate for?
Sharon Rose was always an advocate, and she's still there, but she's
Well,
not.
Yeah, this initiative is Santa Maria City only.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but I mean, I'm thinking that her experience could possibly be informative for you.
Yeah, and it could.
I don't know.
Maybe. And we do have an attorney now, I must say, Bruce Stanton, who is the general counsel for the Golden State Mobile Homeowners League, and has been for 20 years, and has been in the business of representing residents in mobile home parks for longer than that, probably 25 or 30 years. He is our attorney, and he has guided many jurisdictions throughout the state in adopting rent stabilization ordinances and other vehicles for capping rents for seniors in mobile home parks. So we're very lucky. Last year we got a couple of grants. Actually, now we've had 3, I believe, from the fund of Santa Barbara. They've been very generous with us. We're working on our final $10,000 grant now for that legal representation. So I'm not sure where this is going to go, but when we decide, some of you may have participated in some of our days of action over the last 3 years. I don't know whether we're going to be getting back into that business or not, but if we do, I'll be calling on you.
And this is something where SBCAN can help, put the word out to
Yes.
dozens or really hundreds of people in North County to come out and support, even if they're not people that are living as you are.
Right, in a mobile home park. Right.
Like we don't, but we like to come out and support that. It's so important. It's one of the most affordable housing options out there, and
It is
it's a cornerstone of SBCAN.
indeed.
So thank you, Andrea. I'm
You're very welcome.
glad you're on it. We've had people over the years who have been working on this up here, and
Yeah.
you've known them all, I'm sure, but you seem to be the #1 activist on it right now. And so this is,
Persistence.
yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ron Foss was,
Us, yeah.
yeah, he was active with this. Are you in touch with Ron?
Oh,
Or-
he's totally a member of our committee. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Laura Selkin as
Yes.
well.
Yeah, she does all our PR and our flyers and stuff.
Laura is indefatigable, and she was one of our winners several years ago, she and her husband, for work that they do.
Yeah, and she's incredible.
Anybody have any questions for Andrea? Or any further comments on the subject?
Is there
How-
anything, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
How can we help, Andrea? How can people who don't have those living arrangements help you?
You can still go to the city council meetings, and in the public comment, just remind the city council that seniors are having a hard time paying their rents, and that, you know, we hope they move forward quickly on a rent stabilization.
And
One thing or another.
okay, and I would you like me to put in a good word? I'm in DC in a few weeks.
Gonna visit the housing secretary? Yes.
I don't know if I'm doing that, but I know I'm seeing seeing a lot of our representatives as a member of the Poor People's Campaign. And so it's an exciting time. I'm learning how to become a lobbyist. Who knew? But I'm willing, because this is part of the third reconstruction agenda, and it's demand number 5. So my heart goes out to you guys. It's not easy.
No.
Thank you, Sarah. Anybody else got a question or a comment? Andrea, do you have any final?
Keep up the good work, Andrea.
Thank you, Father.
You're welcome.
Andrea, all I can say is I'm sorry to hear whatever you're getting through, but I hopefully in the end you got the good results on your side. If you need any support, please, I think maybe I want to send you my email. If you need any support, please just email me. I'm more than happy to support you. Okay.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So, Laura, I see you posted something about an event. Would you like to say something about that?
I think we have an event and in June 25th is a celebration to La Guelaguetza in Oxnard Plaza. Anybody is invited, everybody is welcome there. So we're gonna start the event from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Anybody is welcome there. I'm hoping you be excited to see you guys there. So, and that's all I can say, but I thank you very much for the invitation to this meeting.
And could you tell us more about what is, how did you say that?
The Guelaguetza is actually the traditional Mixteco culture. They bring like the best food. We're gonna have I think the traditional clothes is actually, and we like to just showing how is the Guelaguetza is mean in the Mixteco community. It's very important for the Mixteco community, Guelaguetza, because that's showing our ancestors, and actually we can share with anybody else and anybody having an interest and know what I mean. The Guelaguetza, I really like to invite you guys to come over and see what is the traditional clothes and food and everything. So I'm very happy to see you there, guys.
And are you with Mecope, or who's putting this on?
Yeah, that's Miko is the for the event, and actually I'm be participating and support the Miko because they needed actually different actually tent we're gonna have in there for different kind of food. We're gonna have an information, anything more resource for the community, and actually they're more than happy to show into the community what kind of resource we have for the community if they don't know, so thank you very much for this beautiful opportunity. Thank you for your question.
Yes, and thank you for sharing with us.
No, thank you so much. It was my pleasure to be here today.
And Sarah has posted something about the third reconstruction. That really sounds interesting.
Yes, definitely. Oh, okay.
All right. Oh,
So, yeah, go ahead, Jeannie. You can wrap
oh
it
no,
up.
I don't mean to. I don't mean to take center stage. I'll pass it back to Ken.
We're just we tag team all the time with Nadia and whichever of the three of us are here. So did you want to say something, Sarah, about what you stuck in the chat? Or did you already?
Sure, I'll tell you. Barbara Lee, a few years ago, put together the resolution for the third Reconstruction agenda. And it is the document that all our work as Poor People's Campaign, a national call for moral revival, build our programs, build our activism, and it tells us about the demands, about things that are really brought to home as an impacted person. I'm a poor person and I live on SNAP. Have SynCal Health and an Obama phone. I keep having to practice my story because that's one of the things that we are doing to get ready for the Moral Poverty Action Congress in Washington, D.C. I leave on the 18th and get back on the 22nd, but those 3 days in between are going to be the most exciting times because I'm going to be sitting at the feet of Bishop William J. Barber and the Reverend Dr. Liz Theo Harris to learn about how we can put our feet to the program, put our boots on the ground and getting to lobby our representatives, because you know what? We're the faces, we're the impacted people. There's the wide range, and we're in a moral fusion movement made up of activists, organizers, faith leaders, the impacted ones, and some of us are blessed to be able to go to these events, but we represent the 140 million, and I'm one of those people. And we see, and I'm including the people who live in mobile home parks as the 140 million because they're struggling, and we all are, and it broadens out in a very wide range. And so the people that St. Peter's is serving, they're part of the 140 million. The faces, it's a fusion movement, and we definitely are working towards trying to break those interlocking injustices. And I will be giving a talk on this, maybe a little more coherently on the 29th for the activist brown bag for the fund for Santa Barbara when I get back. So it's like there's just a lot of things trying to put all these things, these pieces together, and to be able to go out and do the work that God calls me to do every day.
Thank you, Sarah. Thanks for all the work you do. I mean, you do it every week, every day, every hour. Stuff that
Yeah,
just- what you
and
said,
it doesn't stop because I just took on some new positions on other boards. I mean, it just grows and it's exciting.
for anybody who doesn't know, Sarah sends a weekly thing to all of us activists about planning commissions and county boards and city councils and all of it. It's all in one place. And so it makes it easy to, I want to look up this. And so thank you for doing that. It's wonderful.
You may not get it next week, but I'll try to get it done
Well, you're
before
gonna
Friday.
You're going to be busy next week. So are there any other updates from people that you'd like to share with us before we wrap it up?
Juneteenth. Don't forget
Juneteenth?
about the Juneteenth, because I know LaWanda would like me to tell you that there's going to be a Juneteenth celebration in Lompoc on the 17th of June, and that is from 11 to 5, I think it is, and it's at the 100 block of North H Street in Lompoc, and it's going to be a block party.
That sounds good.
Did I get that right, Pam?
Yep. Okay. Any, Jeannie, anything else? Anybody around the table? Any last word?
I'd just like to thank you guys for, your persistence in keeping the roundtable going, and, inviting folks to come and share what they're doing in the community is just so helpful for all of us. So thank you.
Well, thank you for coming and sharing too. That's helpful for us.
Yep.
Claudia and Father have their hand up.
Oh, good.
Oh, for some reason, I don't know how to
Whoops.
do that.
Okay. That was probably a mistake, but thank you so much for the invitation to share about our church and to learn about all the great work that's being done by your organization and others. And we look forward to being with you for the awards dinner. Thank you very much.
And we'll see you then. Come hungry.
Yes, again, thank you all so much for everything. This truly means a lot.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Carlos.
Y'all have a nice night.
I have
There's
to get
my-
the door.
Yep, there we go. My son-in-law is here.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
All right, thanks. And
I hope I didn't blather along too long.
no, you were great, and it was wonderful. And so I said, "Oh, my son-in-law's here." Well, they're not married, but he's like my son-in-law because
Well, family's
told me-
family.
he told me like right when this meeting started, he said, "I'm come," and my daughter's in DC for 2 months, and so but he's coming from Berkeley to go see his parents, I presume, in LA area with his dog, and they need a hydration break. I said, yeah, stop by. So I can hear my
Well-
dogs going, "Bar, bar, bar, bar."
Well, you have a good one, and I'm glad that SBCAN exists.
Thank you. And I am too. And it's going to carry on no matter what.
Yes, and thinking of you and having to find a new person with Nadia leaving.
Yeah, thank you. I need good vibes for that.
Yeah, I'll just keep trying to send you some meta.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you,
See
Sarah.
you soon.
Good night.
Night.
Have a great trip.
Thank